This is Virgil Ortiz, and you're watching REED-BBS.
REED-BBS. BBS. Jerron Boots Ennis. He looked human. He looked beatable on some Philly shit. In Philadelphia boxing circles in particular, Jerron Boots Ennis, he's spoken about in reverential tones. Motherfuckers lower their voices and shit when speaking of Boots, like he's a pastor or a civil rights leader or something. That reverence is gonna have to be tabled. It's gonna have to be tabled for the time being, because again, on some Philly shit, my Philly listeners will appreciate this video. On some Philly shit, Jerron Boots Ennis, he needs to decide which type of Philly fighter he wants to be. Which type of Philly fighter you want to be, bruh? You want to be Bernard Hopkins? You want to be BHOP, who used ring IQ, skill, timely finesse, low-key toughness, athleticism. Bernard was always tough and athletic, but there were more athletic guys out there. His toughness, more in the early portion of his career, is when we saw that toughness from Bernard. Not that he was ever soft or weak, but it was emphasized more earlier in his career. He got away from that, so I called him toughness low-key. Bernard used all that to achieve greatness and an unprecedented level of longevity in boxing. You want to be that Philly legend, Boots? Or do you want to be MELDRICK Taylor? Want to be MELDRICK Taylor? 1984 Olympic gold medalist, unquestionably one of the most talented men to ever lace up a boxing glove. More naturally talented than B-Hop, keeping it a buck. More naturally, MELDRICK Taylor was more naturally talented than Bernard Hopkins. Period. He was more consistently entertaining than Bernard Hopkins. The problem with MELDRICK Taylor got hit too goddamn much. Too much. Like Boots Ennis, MELDRICK Taylor was more than talented enough to not get hit as often as he got hit. And he got hit. And it eventually cost MELDRICK Taylor. Most of y'all probably never even heard the name of MELDRICK Taylor in your lives until now. Look him up. And you ain't heard of him because his ass got hit too much. MELDRICK Taylor would get comfortable. He would hang in the pocket too long after getting his shots off, admiring his work, as they say. And it caught him. It cost him. Caught up with him and cost him. Jerron Boots Ennis has his own unique style. But Philly fighters in particular, even guys with the ability to be stereotypical black fighters, like a MELDRICK Taylor, shit, like an Ivan Robinson, them Philly dudes, whether by design or not, I don't know if it's something in the Philadelphia water, Pennsylvania water, whatever, them Philly fighters get hit, man, a lot. Philly is not synonymous with defense, to say the least. Which brings me to Karen Chukhadzian. And at least once, I'm going to put some respect on my man's name. It's pronounced Chukazan. I'm trying, goddammit. Chukazan. There it is. Okay. And we're going to revert back to Karen Chukhadzian. But I wanted to say I wanted to put some respect on my man's name one goddamn time and say it correctly. Because he earned it. Karen earned it, man. We weren't expecting many or any answers in regards to Boots versus Karen 2. But what we also were not expecting were more questions to be raised about Boots Ennis in the aftermath of the Karen rematch. We weren't expecting that. We weren't expecting to have more doubts about, or any doubts about Boots Ennis after this shit. Man, Karen, he was strong in the clinch. He held his ground from the outset. I knew he would come out a little more spunky because his manhood was questioned. But goddamn, from the very first round, he was forcing Boots on his back foot. And he even rocked Boots in the very first fucking round. I don't know if it was more balance or what, but them legs didn't look right for a brief second, and we've never seen that in a Boots Ennis fight. That just doesn't happen in Boots Ennis fights. Shit, Karen rocked Boots a time or 3 or 4. Like real talk, he was rocking it, man. Never hurt, And I can attribute that to 12 prior rounds of familiarity with Boots. We can attribute it to good timing, whatever. Karen's shots, they have a sneaky-ass way of finding Boots. He just constantly was finding the dude. It was the case in that first bout a little bit in spots, and it was much more pronounced in part two. He was catching Boots in between shots with big shots. For him, anyway. Karen's not much of a puncher, but he was hitting Boots, man. And it was reminiscent of Crawford. Soon as Boots would think about launching or begin a punching motion, boop, Karen already done touched him first, or in between a combo that Boots was attempting. Boots took the shots okay, he did. But especially in real time watching that, the Philly crowd, the Philly faithful was nervous, man. They was uneasy. Shit, I was nervous too. I'm a Boots fan. He's one of my 5 favorite current fighters. So I was nervous as fuck watching that fight, admittedly. And mostly early that was the case. But even with that said, I never reached a point of relaxation in Boots Karen 2 until the final fucking bell ring. That's just keeping it all the way real. All the way real. Now granted, it wasn't all bad. Boots did win the fight. I mean, he didn't lose. It just feels like an L of some sort. But he won. God damn it, he won. An uppercut at the end of a flurry forced Karen to take a knee in the 5th round. Like, he dropped Karen. Legit. In the 6th round, that was a good round for Boots as well. He was trending towards the stoppage that we all were expecting. He chopped away and hurt Karen again in the 8th round. Harvey Dock had to issue a warning for holding in round 9. Which Boots was, by this point, visibly frustrated from the holding, from getting touched up more than he expected, probably from the lack of energy from the crowd, the home crowd. You know, they were all stunned and shit. But with that said, Boots opened up on Karen again in the 10th round, and finally then Harvey Dock had to deduct a point from my man. He was holding because he was feeling Boots. So again, this wasn't all bad. He dropped this man and made this man grope him to the point of having a point deducted. That's because he was feeling them hands, Karen was. So let's keep that in perspective while we all dogpiling Boots in this, all right? Unlike bout 1, this was not a 12-0 fight. Karen justified the rematch and the IBF rankings. So our bad IBF. Y'all was right to put him back number 1 again. And he showed improvement. It was an uneven performance from Boots. Chris Mannix kept referencing Boots not taking Karen seriously, not training properly. Focus, I heard that word a lot in the post-fight, not from Boots or anything, but from people around the situation. Boots, at first he referenced moving up to 54. You know, you have to wonder, he said the level of opposition brings out the best of him, so he wants nothing but top-tier guys from this point. And I agree with him in that regard. But back to that weight drain bit. He looked, and I said this after in the post-fight, the pre-fight presser, the last pre-fight presser, Boots showed up. And I said in the pre-fight video then that the motherfucker looked a bit drained to me. And the first words out of his mouth post-fight was moving up to 54. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Per the esteemed Philadelphia trainer, Stephen Breadman Edwards, that's not the fighter I saw in the gym. I didn't like some of them punches I saw him getting hit with. That's from Breadman. And those sentiments sum up exactly how I felt watching the fight, right then and there. I mean, I wasn't in the gym or nothing, but I didn't like some of the punches I saw Boots getting hit with either. I just didn't. Breadman also acknowledged all the different voices ringside. And I mean, it's, 10,000, 12,000 people there or whatever. So there's going to be voices. But what Breadman spoke to was how distracted Boots looked. He would acknowledge the voices ringside, look over, nod at people, say something back. It's a showy, flashy move. But this wasn't the fight for that. This was the fight where you needed full focus, bro. You just did. So again, Boots has to make a decision. A Philly decision. You want to be BHOP or Meldrick Taylor, bruh? if you have to choose which one, you want to be your own man, but if you have to choose which one you want to be. Bozy talking about you getting hit with dumb shit. He's hitting you with dumb stuff. And Bozy said this after the very first round. Bozy's been catching some strays in the post-fight. He was telling Boots what to do. And Boots even acknowledged, yeah, I was listening but not listening. He told me everything, I just wasn't doing it. You know? Yeah. But the dumb stuff, the fuckery, I don't know what's going on with the defense. Brother's way too talented to get hit like this. It has to stop. Henceforth, Forthwith, and Indubitably. This is like Devin Haney level defense, and that ain't good. Make no mistake, that ain't good. A slick black fighter who ain't slick defensively. That makes no fucking sense, bruh. Sure, Boots rolls with a lot of shots, and he likes to move his head at the last second and then pose. You know, it's cute, it's finesse, it's dope. I like it. And it's clear Boots believes in his chin. He never once disengaged. Even as we kind of questioned, was he hurt there? Was he buzzed there? He never once disengaged. That's because he believes in his chin. But as even Eddie Hearn said, he can't afford to take shots like that against better opposition. It's really that simple. And, what's sad about this is now you got Brian Norman Sr. Saying slick shit. He talking fly now. You got the ride guy talking shit, feeling froggy. But that's what boxing is, man. You show a little bit of vulnerability, and then motherfuckers want to pounce. It is what it is. The plan is Virgil Ortiz at 54, early 2025, or unification at 47. Mario Barrios is about to fight this week on the Tyson-Jake Paul undercard. Stanionis, I believe, has to fulfill a mandatory. And Brian Norman has his fight with Cuevas. That was postponed. He was supposed to be on the Keyshawn Davis undercard, but he got hurt. If I'm one of the 47 belt holders, I'm trying to get Boots next to keep him at 47, because I think it's time for him to move up. So keep his ass weight trained. If they're smart, they'll do that. So if unification doesn't happen next, it never will. It never will. The Verge fight, yeah, you better tighten that defense, bro. Because them shots that Karen hit you with, Verge would put you out with those. Like, for real. For real. For real. And the good news is fewer fighters will be scared of Boots. They want that Boots smoke now. They trying to smoke that now. And we'll see if he can fight his way back to the level of reverence his name once carried prior to Karen 2. REED-BBS, BBS. Blackbird Sugar, Bachelor's in Boxing Studies. Television! Fred Sanford of the Fistic Arts. When all is said and done, there's nothing left to say or do.